What's good, guys? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hope you guys are having an amazing Easter. Hope you had an amazing Easter. By the time this video is up, it's probably the end of today. I will say I want to thank all you guys for giving me so much support lately. I've just been live streaming. I haven't uploaded a prediction video, so I want to say massive thank you to everybody who's been supporting me. We've been killing it on the live stream. So there's going to be another one this Tuesday, so stay tuned. We're going to look at UFC 314. Of course, we can't talk about next week without talking about this week, but this is Garry versus Prates Full Card predictions. So we're going to get into it. Obviously, we got Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, I had hope for him, but we all know the outcome. He got submitted, put out. I will say I did not expect Gene Silva to get that ninja choke. He actually wrapped up his neck very quickly and just put him to sleep just like that. Ige versus Woodson. I heard the judges had it 2-0 Ige. I don't know what's going on. You guys let me know what you guys think of that. But either way, me having Woodson by decision was going to crash and burn. And Mitch Raposo, I will say it wasn't a close fight. He couldn't get Sumadaji to the ground. And it was a very good performance from Sumadaji, which we will be talking about Sumadaji with that Matt Schnell fight later today. So let's talk about it. And then here is how we did. So I had to record it because this was probably one of my most successful nights. That's why I've been out. I've been missing for a little bit. Didn't do the prediction video. Didn't drop early predictions. But this is how it went. So obviously I went a little bit light. $2 to win 20 right here. I had Bryce Mitchell doesn't go the distance. Yair Rodriguez. By the way, that over 1.5 came in clutch for the Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silva fight. Yair Rodriguez, Paddy Pimblett, Alexander Volkanovski by points at a plus 175. Let's go. Got some plus money on that. That was a good one. This one's by far one of my favorites, the 10 leg. Plus 3,851. Noah Cornell, Marco Tullio, Michael Olajaychik, Julian Erosa, Chase Hooper, Verna Jandaroba, Gene Silva, Yair Rodriguez, Paddy Pimblett, and yes, for the main event to go the distance, 1 for 39. That's actually amazing in my opinion. Obviously, this was probably like the least amount that I spent and the most amount that I've won. So we have over 1.5 here for Sumadaji Mishraposo go the distance. Michael Olajaychik. This was the biggest parlay I hit that night. It was a 10-leg parlay plus 9,901. Over 1.5 Gore Tulio, which was crazy. Sumadaji goes the distance. Michael Olajaychik. Chase Hooper by submission on points. Verna Jandaroba. Dominic Reyes doesn't go the distance. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. Over 2.5. Pitbull Yair. Paddy Pimblett, Alexander Volkanovski, $1 for 100. That is actually insane. And by that time, I was like, wow. And then this is the last one that hit. Plus 4 leg, plus 482. Dominic Reyes doesn't go the distance. Bryce Mitchell, no. Yair Rodriguez by KO on points. And then Paddy Pimblett, 10 for 58. If you could see it at the bottom, it says 58. I just can't show it like it says 58 right there. So in all, I got 220 as profit and spent like 20, 30, maybe 20 to 30, $40. Very profitable night for me, so let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get into this breakdown. Garry versus Prates. Machado Garry versus Prates is going to be an absolute banger main event. Not only is it going to be a banger main event, but the winner of this is 2 to 3, maybe 1 fight away from the title. So let's get into it. Of course, we have an absolute banger card, 14 fights. Let's hope that all 14 fights stay in this card, and let's break it down. Chelsea Chandler versus Joselyne Edwards. Another anticipated matchup for me, but I know a lot of people aren't going to be anticipating this matchup, but it's a good fight to start off the card. And we hit Lock of the Week. That's one thing that I forgot. We hit Lock of the Week. Paddy Pimblett, we're on a 6-fight Lock of the Week streak, guys. I'll say it again. Ignacio Bahamondes, Kevin Vallejos, Carlos Oberg, David Martinez, Torres Finney, and of course, Paddy Pimblett, 6-fight Lock of the Week streak. Let's make it 7 this week. Chelsea Chandler versus Joselyne Edwards, plus 235 for Chelsea Chandler. Joselyne Edwards, minus 320. With this fight right here, reasonably so, Joselyne Edwards being a massive favorite. Another 1-800-gambler fight. We're going to have a lot of those in this card. Chelsea Chandler is huge. She's a runner. She's a track star. I can never trust Chandler. She throws heavy, works. And one thing we have to mention, guys, is both of these ladies have missed weight before. Once on top, she can maintain good top control, but she relies on pure brute strength, and she uses her weight as an advantage. What I like about Chandler is she never stays still. She's always tough, and she's always moving. She missed weight her last fight against Yana Santos by 5 pounds. She looked super slow that fight. Matched up against Joselyne Edwards, an athlete who was finding her groove, and she gets more fights in the UFC. She's getting better and better as she gets more fights. She's a good kickboxer who can manage distance very well. Very good striking. I think she's going to be better in the striking department than Chelsea Chandler. In my opinion, her ability to get taken down is a massive red flag, though. So we've seen her get taken down. If Chelsea Chandler just runs right through, pure brute strength, gets a takedown, she could probably get her down at least once. But Joselyne Edwards is a good kickboxer. Very good. She struggles with forward pressure at times and takedowns. Her takedown isn't the best, but she does get takedowns as well. But she has gotten taken down by Eileen Perez. She did utilize her takedowns against Vidal, which we remember in that Vidal fight, the over 2.5 did not hit because Vidal got submitted right before that over 2.5 was going to hit. Joselyne has missed weight 4 times in the UFC. Chelsea Chandler misses weight as well. I think somebody might miss weight here. Let's hope that they both make weight, though. Joselyne Edwards for the win by submission on points. The reason I like submission on points double chance more than the over 2.5 is because Edwards actually got the sub before the over 2.5 in her last fight. I'm not taking the risk anymore. Maybe we can put in a nice little long shot parlay, the over 2.5 in this fight. But me personally, I like Joselyne Edwards by submission on points. Give me Joselyne Edwards. I think she should be able to finish this fight inside the distance. Let's go Joselyne Edwards by submission on points, just in case it's a Chase Hooper situation. Let's go, my girl. Let's go. Timmy Cuamba versus Roberto Romero, another banger fight. Minus 113 for Timmy Cuamba. Roberto Romero, minus 113. Timmy Cuamba's a decent striker, good takedowns, can invest in the body, always throws, always moves, but can have some weird timing on his takedowns. Timmy only wrestles if he's in trouble, which is a massive red flag in my opinion. He got dropped by Lucas Almeida and almost finished, but he kept moving forward. Timmy is the more technical boxer, but he tends to quit, and he just straight up quit in that fight against Ivan Tena. In that fight against Ivan Tena, he just straight up quit in that fight. And that was a fight that I recommend a lot of you guys to go rewatch it. It was on Combat Global, but after doing some tape study, I noticed that Timmy Cuamba can quit when it gets tough. Roberto Romero is durable. He's going to be a pressure guy. He's more durable than I imagined. His durability was put on full display in that David Onama fight on his UFC debut, who David Onama we will talk about later. He gets some good takedowns, can control very well on top. Decent striking, but lost on short notice to David Onama. He actually dropped David Onama, which was insane. Both of these guys have great durability. Wrestler versus striker match could be a fight here. I was impressed with Roberto, how he looked on his UFC debut. I expect him to win this fight by KO on points. Give me Roberto Romero by KO on points. I think he should be able to win this fight. We have to mention that Timmy Cuamba is the more technical fighter. He will be the more technical fighter. But I think Roberto Romero just pressuring, moving forward, landing shots. We can make this guy quit. Let's go Roberto Romero by KO on points. I'll go by decision, 29-28. Welcome to the UFC. After that banger debut, let's go, my guy, Roberto Romero. Jaqueline Amorim versus Polyana Viana. Another banger matchup that I know a lot of people are anticipating. One thing I will say, this one looks like it's going to be a steamroll. It looks like Amorim might just steamroll right past Polyana Viana. Jaqueline Amorim, one of the biggest favorites on the card, minus 620 versus Polyana Viana, plus 400. Battle of the baddies, two of the best looking woman MMA fighters in the UFC. Jaqueline Amorim is a no-gi and gi BJJ world champion. Amorim has a 100% finish rate. She's finished every single person that she's beat, which is an insane stat, especially at the division that she's in. She's a very talented athlete, very well-rounded. I love her blast double, and she will do anything to win, including cheat by grabbing the inside of the glove, how we saw against Vanessa Demopoulos. Amorim can look off on the feet, but she has 2 TKOs on her record. Considering this fight is at 115, Amorim has some hands made out of stone, in my opinion. Her only loss is to Sam Hughes, who we all know we just saw her win not too long ago. Sam Hughes is a beast. Amorim has 7 subs in the first round, a wide variety of subs, arm triangle choke, rear naked choke. Her favorite submission, in my opinion, is the arm bar. I see her go to it a lot. Amorim gave Sam Hughes issues in that first round, but later lost that fight. Matchup against Polyana Viana. Polyana Viana is a finish or be finished fighter. She's on a 2-fight losing skid to Lasmin Lucindo and Gillian Robertson. I will say, prior to that loss, she beat Jung Yu Fry. She has 4 wins in the UFC, all 4 by sub, and 6 losses in the UFC. Polyana can't defend a takedown if her life depended on it. Over and over, this seems like Amorim by sub, maybe even first round. But I will say Polyana sometimes can look like she doesn't like taking this fight seriously, so we'll see how it goes. Amorim by first round sub, I know a lot of people are going to be going on it, but I'm going to say, give me Amorim by submission on points. I'm going to take that double chance, just in case. I'd like to sprinkle Amorim by first round or second round submission. We know when we look at her submissions, she's gotten all 7 submissions in the first round. So you can sprinkle Amorim by submission first round. But I like Amorim by submission straight up, just in case it gets to the second. And I like Amorim by submission on points, just in case that submission doesn't hit, just for some random possibility. I got Amorim inside the distance. Let's go. Amorim to win that fight. She should be able to just steamroll through Polyana Viana, but anything is possible. Minus 113 for Cameron Saaiman. Malcolm Wellmaker, minus 113. The people's main event, in my opinion. Not only is this the people's main event, but a lot of people are going to be looking forward to this fight, including me. I'm very high on Wellmaker. But I will say this is his toughest test yet. Malcolm Wellmaker is a blue-collar worker who works full-time while trading at the same time, so that can be a little bit of a disadvantage, but more of an advantage for Cameron. But I will say, I would like him to win this fight so maybe eventually he doesn't have to work his job and he can pursue his career in the UFC. Malcolm Wellmaker has a deceptive power. It doesn't look like it, but this guy can carry power. His power was put on full display on his Dana White Contender Series debut against Adam Balmhad. Correct me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Wellmaker can wrestle, but we don't know how good his grappling is. Saaiman can wrestle. That's one thing that we know. He's implemented a ton of grappling. He started as a grappler. His base is grappling. Saaiman will mix in takedowns, good jab, good ability to win a decision if needed. I'd say he has good takedown defense. Cardio might play a factor. I expect low kicks from both fighters to be a factor as well. If this fight stays on the feet, Cameron has volume, Malcolm with the power. Cameron Saaiman had a lot of hype before his losses to Christian Rodriguez and Payne Talbot. Cameron Saaiman is technical, but I will say he was purposely low-kicking Talbot in order for him to get a break timeout when he gassed. Cameron can grapple if needed. He has good combos. He has a great 1-2, always mixes it up, always stays accurate, and he could definitely win this fight by decision. I like the over 2.5 in this fight, but I will say the thing is, with these UFC debuts from Dana White Contender Series, it makes these fights harder to predict. Cameron is facing tough competition already. He's a veteran. This seems like a little bit of a step down in competition from what he's used to. He could win this fight, and I like the plus 3.5 for Cameron. The more well-prepared fighter here might be Cameron Saaiman, especially since Malcolm is not doing MMA full-time, but I still expect Malcolm Wellmaker to put 100% into this fight. Give me Malcolm Wellmaker by KO on points, but I can definitely see how Cameron Saaiman is favored to win this fight by 51%. 51% of Tapology has Saaiman. If you have Saaiman, take him with the over 2.5, take him by decision. Even take him money line. Money line is great value on either side, no matter who you're on. I'll take Malcolm Wellmaker for the win. Let's go Malcolm Wellmaker by KO on points. Maybe 29-28 unanimous decision. Let's see what you got, my guy. Welcome to the UFC. Damon Blackshear versus Alatengheili. Damon Blackshear minus 390. Alatengheili plus 280. We just saw Damon Blackshear fight. We just saw him fight literally 4 weeks and 2 days ago. 4 weeks and 3 days ago today. I will say Blackshear, we just saw him fight 4 weeks ago, literally, against Cody Gibson. He got a beautiful Kimura, but that fight, he had to work for it. He has 4 losses in the UFC, but they're to the best. He lost that first round against Cody Gibson and he was looking a little off that fight. He was getting taken down, but he was getting some reversals in that fight. Averages more than 2 takedowns per fight. Blackshear, even if taken down, he can reverse his opponent. He reversed Cody Gibson a bunch of times in his last fight, and he managed to win that fight inside the distance. Matched up against Alatengheili, a good mixed martial artist, can sometimes get outstriked in his fights. Just recently beat Clayton Rodriguez by decision, where he had 3 takedowns and 8 minutes of control. Prior to that, lost to Chris Gutierrez. With a record of 17-9, he struggles with everyone unless he sticks to one game plan. He usually struggles. He's durable, good kicks, good 1-2, but struggles with pressure/brawlers. Cody Gibson took a round off Blackshear. Maybe Alatengheili can, but I will say I like Blackshear in this fight. Alatengheili maybe can wrestle to victory, but I think BJJ evens this fight out. What I don't like about Blackshear is sometimes he can make these fights way more competitive than they need to be. Even if Blackshear ends up on his back, he can work, and maybe work off some submissions on his back in order to sweep, get right back up on his feet. I will say, I think Blackshear has better top control, and he does better for finding the submissions when he's on top. Maybe the over 2.5, but it could be risky, just like in that Cody Gibson fight. Just give me Blackshear by submission. Give me Blackshear inside the distance, no action, and I'll take Blackshear by submission on points just in case. I like Blackshear by submission, but we will say he might get taken down in order for him to get that sub. Give me Blackshear for the win inside the distance. I like him when he's controlling the fight. Let's go Blackshear for the win. He's going to have to work for it, though. Chris Gutierrez versus John Castañeda. This matchup has been scheduled a lot of times, in my opinion. Chris Gutierrez minus 125, John Castañeda minus 102. This fight was supposed to be on UFC 313, but got canceled, now rescheduled a couple of times now. Finally, let's hope they both show up. Chris Gutierrez is a very kick-heavy, front-heavy fighter. Volume, good low kicks, decent cage control, lands more than 5 significant strikes per minute. He chops your leg over and over and can land a good 1-2 and a knee up the middle. He has a 71% takedown defense. Chris Gutierrez, he admires his work a little bit more than I would like him to. He kind of likes to look a little bit more flashy. He likes to look good. His decision win over Quang Lee, where his wrestling was completely off, it was a match that I needed to see in order for me to predict this fight. John Castañeda can wrestle. Former 2-division wrestler, John Castañeda makes it dirty. He beat the shit out of Daniel Santos before he lost that fight by KO. He's a very well-rounded athlete with super fast hands and good takedowns. Great timing on his takedowns as well, and he can have sometimes he can lack some pop on his shots, I will say. He had to cancel the fight against Douglas Silva de Andrade. The doctor said that Doug cut too much weight. I believe it was a medical issue. John Castañeda can wrestle his way to a victory. We saw Song Yadong control Chris Gutierrez, and Chris Gutierrez was holding. He was stalling that fight in order for Song Yadong not to get up and land some vicious shots. I will say John needs to avoid those blasting low kicks. He can win this fight, but I will say the plus 3.5 for John Castañeda is good. John Castañeda for the dub for me. We have to remember John Castañeda just lost to Daniel Marcos, though. Chris Gutierrez plus 3.5 is very good as well. John Castañeda to pressure, move Chris backwards, and take him down. Give me John Castañeda by decision for me. But let me know what you guys got. Let me know what you guys got. It's going to be a banger fight. Give me John Castañeda for the win. Let's go. Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Now, this is a situation where it was a little bit of a weird situation because we know Ahmed was supposed to fight Evan Elder, but he got arrested for something very wrong this week. And in a way, I know a lot of people would want to see Evan Elder get that KO, but let's just hope, he gets cut from the UFC, or even if he's in the UFC, he gets a little bit of an unfavorable matchup, because we all know Ahmed is not the best. He's not the best guy. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. I wish Evan Elder was able to put a beating on him, in my opinion, but he got arrested. So Gage Young, he's fought at 170, 155, and 165. Evan Elder is a super talented, well-rounded, good heavy power on his strikes. He's good selection on his takedowns as well. And I expected Evan Elder to knock out Ahmed. But I will say this is a completely different matchup. Once down, he can maintain good control, land some good pop shots. He's coming off of that submission win over Darius Flowers, which was very impressive in my opinion. Arm triangle choke as well. When I saw Evan Elder as a favorite, I can't imagine what his price tag is at now because the odds are not up for me. So sorry for not being able to put the odds up. I expect him to be an even massive favorite. Evan Elder to walk him down and implement his style over the newcomer, Gage Young. Evan Elder for the win, but I will say Gage has fought at 170, 165, and 155. He lost to Quillen Salkit on Dana White Contender Series, but he made that fight pretty competitive. On paper, you're going to see that he just lost that fight, but it was a competitive scrap. His boxing is good. He is very hook heavy. Sometimes he just spams hooks, but his cardio isn't the best as well. Evan Elder is a better kickboxer than Gage Young, and I think Gage Young is going to wrestle. But Evan Elder to win by KO on points for me. Give me Evan Elder to win this fight. Let's go. The predictions on Tapology aren't even up yet. I expect Evan Elder to be another massive favorite. But we could use him as a parlay piece, use the double chance, and we could get that value. Let's go. Evan Elder for the win. Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. This is another scrap where it's a little bit of a weird one. You know what I'm saying? Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Matt Schnell minus 295. Jimmy Flick plus 220. I think the UFC contract is on the line for this fight for both of them. We'll see, though. We'll see. I like Matt Schnell. I really do. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. We got to put some respect on his name. So, Matt No Chill Schnell versus Jimmy the Sub Artist Flick. Matt Schnell went to war with Sumadaji, who we just saw beat Mitch Raposo, which is a very good win in my opinion for Matt Schnell. How about it? Matt can work his BJJ very well. He has decent amount of head movement. Doesn't shoot takedowns if his life depended on it, though. He can sometimes get caught just out of nowhere. He has a 40% takedown accuracy. He lost to Mateus Nicolau by KO and Steve Ercik by KO. His third loss in a row was a ninja choke to Cody Durden. Matched up against Jimmy Flick, a grappler who loves to get subs. He can take you down. Once down, can control you, work his way, slow down the pace of the fight, and make this his fight. This is a crazy fight. A 1-800-gambler fight. Jimmy Flick just lost to Nate Mans, but he has 15 subs in his entire pro career. We know that both of these guys are coming off of losses, and maybe they didn't look the best in their losses, but I will say this is a banger scrap. Jimmy Flick has a wide variety of subs, arm triangle, flying triangle choke, and a great guillotine. He has a negative striking differential, though, and a 21% takedown accuracy, so both of these guys can't really get a takedown. He can snatch up subs at any time, though, once it's on the ground, and he can definitely outwork you. Jimmy Flick is a sub or bust guy. Both of these guys are a little bit on the tail end. Can't believe Matt is such a big favorite, but I think he could definitely win this fight. 1-800-gambler type of fight, but I like Matt Schnell by KO. We know Matt losses are to the best, even to champions like Alexandre Pantoja. We know he lost to Rob Font, Nicolas, and Ursig. All of these guys are elite. Even against Durden, Matt Schnell looked great. He looked good in the boxing. He was moving his head, but he got finished in that fight. But I thought Matt Schnell looked good. Give me Matt Schnell by KO. I'll take Matt Schnell by KO, but you guys know me, guys. I like Matt Schnell by KO on points. Give me Matt Schnell by KO on points, but I like Matt Schnell by KO. I'll go by late third round TKO, but we know that if anything, maybe the over 2.5 might come in clutch in this fight. Let's go Matt Schnell for the win. Let's go, my guy. Show us what you got, my guy. Show us what you got. Ikram Aliskerov versus André Muniz. Another fight that got rescheduled a lot. This is a lot of, rescheduled fights. Minus 720 for Ikram. André Muniz plus 450. This fight got rebooked. This fight was supposed to happen at UFC Saudi Arabia. Ikram, Russian wrestler, only 2 losses. Very good athlete. And the fact that his only 2 losses are to the best, you'll see. This guy is a problem. This guy has some crazy power and accuracy like I've never seen before. The way this guy, Ikram, put Phil Hawes out was like a crime scene. Go watch Ikram Aliskerov versus Phil Hawes. Even if you watched it already, rewatch it. Phil Hawes fell like if he froze in time. Ikram has 5 subs, surprisingly a good Kimura, great armbar, and a beautiful guillotine. His only losses are to Hamza Chimaev and Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker was short notice. Ikram actually has insanely good wrestling, good takedowns, and timing. Very good top control as well. And I know a lot of people are not expecting Ikram to be a wrestler, but he's a very good wrestler. Very good. He has a very good guard, a very good defense. He's very defensively sound. He's coming off of that first round knockout loss to Robert Whittaker. It was short notice, to be fair, less than a week notice, so no shame in that. Matched up against André Muniz. André has 13 subs in the first round and 2 subs in the second round, 4 TKOs as well, and 5 decision wins. A hard grappler, good timing on his shots, a BJJ nerd, a beast on top, good pop on his shots, can strike with you, set up the takedown, doesn't always shoot out of desperation like Bryce Mitchell. So André Muniz is a little bit more technical with the timing on his takedowns, which is something that I like. We know guys like Bryce Mitchell, we can tell when this guy's shooting. One thing about Bryce Mitchell, I said, don't shoot out of desperation. It leaves you open. How many times did we see Bryce Mitchell get that guillotine attempt a submission? I like André Muniz's timing on his takedowns. It's way better in my opinion. He doesn't shoot out of desperation. I expect Ikram to fit his price tag. André Muniz's most recent performance was a bit iffy, but he landed 11 takedowns, but he still got outstruck. He got outstruck by Jung Young Park, which is a massive red flag. My favorite performance from Ikram was his performance against Wally Alves. He wasted no time in that fight, and he finished him in 2 minutes. Ikram by KO is the pick for me, but you guys know me. Safety first. Ikram by KO on points. I know a lot of people are going to go Ikram by KO, but in another parlay, take Ikram by KO or on points just in case this BJJ nerd is getting a little bit sloppy, he's butt scooting, or he's making this fight a little bit more competitive than we expected it to. Give me Ikram by KO. I'm going to go by second round TKO, but take double chance by KO on points as well just in case. Let's go Ikram for the dub. Main card. We're already on the main card, but damn, this is a banger scrap. Randy Brown versus Nicolas Dalby. Randy Brown minus 260, Nicolas Dalby plus 196. Randy Brown versus Dalby is a banger scrap. Main card worthy fight. This is what I like to see on Saturday night. Randy Brown is a huge 6'3", great striker, can manage distance very well, good low kicks, very good jab, excellent 1-2. Speed is always on his side, and his win over Muslim Salikov has aged like a fine wine. In fact, they both have beat Muslim Salikov. Randy Brown does okay on the back foot, but he does even better when he's moving forward, and he performs way better. Randy Brown has 5 submission wins, 7 TKO wins, and 7 wins by decision. Randy Brown has good trips. If he chooses to take you down, he can mix it up. He has 9 takedowns in the UFC, which is something that a lot of people don't know. He always is a treat to watch. I will say he performed very well against Bryan Battle. He landed 2 takedowns in that fight and outstruck Bryan Battle. Very close split decision. If it wasn't for Bryan Battle holding him against the fence, he would have lost that fight. Matched up against Nicolas Dalby. Dalby's a cardio king. I've never seen someone with his age with cardio, like Dalby. He has good pop in his shots, can get hit sometimes, but he can make fights way more competitive than you would expect him to be. He can get dropped, but this guy's recovery is insane. At only 23-5-1, he has an insane resume, beating Gabriel Bonfim and even losing a great close fight to Renat Fakardinov. Dalby at 40 seems like he's never slowing down, but we know that Father Time is the demise for us all. 7 TKO wins for Dalby, 4 submission wins, and 12 wins by decision. I think the over 2.5 is the play here. I like Randy Brown by KO on points. Give me Randy Brown by KO on points. but he does have some submissions on his record. Dalby might wrestle hard here, so the plus 3.5 for Dalby is great. I like the over 2.5 in this fight, and give me Randy Brown by KO on points, and I'll take Randy Brown by decision, 29-28. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. It's heating up. It's heating up. Michel Pereira's Abus Magomedov. So with this fight right here, guys, this is going to be a crazy fight. Michel Pereira minus 170, Abus Magomedov plus 132. Michel Pereira is a beast who was at 170 for a while, but until he was forced to move up after missing weight. 185 is the better for Michel Pereira. He's only 31 years old with 43% professional fights. He has good power, good athleticism, very well-rounded. He can find a sub. He can force you to make a mistake and capitalize on it. The only thing is, he's a showman. Michel's cardio is terrible. We saw that on full display in the Anthony Hernandez fight. He's very flashy, but let's see how it works here. Matched up against Abus Magomedov. Abus has been doing better, managed to get a 2-fight win streak after losing to Sean Strickland and Kyle Barallo. He is 3-2 in the UFC with wins over Dustin Stolfus, Wally Alves, and his best win yet, Bruno Ferreira. He has a good teep to the body, good power, very long. He will be the taller fighter by 1 inch and has a 5-inch reach advantage. Abus has a good guillotine choke, a good Kimura, and an excellent arm triangle that he got Bruno with. I liked his variety of subs. He brings more weapons to this fight. Bruno isn't the best, to be fair. Abus is very hittable, but he weathers the storm and he can win. Maybe Michel by KO on points. Michel inside the distance or no action. Abus by submission on points. Michel, it's now or never. If he loses to Abus, I think it's over for him. Give me Michel Pereira inside the distance. I like him at a minus 170. I was going to go Abus Magomedov, but after doing a little bit more tape study, looking at this, 185 is the division for him. And even against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, he hurt him to the body early, and then he lost that fight clearly. But I think 3 rounds favors him. I was going to pick Abus. I like Abus a lot. I like his style. I like his variety of subs. But I got to go Anthony Hernandez for this fight. Give me Anthony Hernandez. Give me Michel Pereira for this fight. Give me Michel Pereira inside the distance. Give me Michel Pereira by KO or on points. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. It's now or never, Pereira. It's now or never. Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. This is an absolute banger scrap, man. I can't wait for this one. Plus 146 for Giga. David Onama minus 188. I can't wait for this one. Listening to Giga on an interview with MMA experts, he seemed in the right headspace. If you guys haven't, guys, go watch that interview. AJ from MMA Experts and Finch, they had him on Moneyline with Giga Chikadze. That was an absolute banger interview because it got me to understand where Giga's at, where his headspace is at. He was focused not too much on his opponent, but rather on sharpening his tools in the toolbox, which is something that I like to see. Giga is known for that Giga kick, very flashy striker, good range of management, great 1-2, excellent ability to land accurately with kicks and punches, not too much volume but very accurate. I will say he lost to Arnold Allen, but he won that first round in the first fight until he got tired later on in that fight. Sorry about that, guys. It's my dog. Until he got tired in that fight. Giga has only 2 losses in the UFC to top featherweights, to Calvin Kattar and Arnold Allen. Giga, 8-2, is a good example of him being able to find his groove in the UFC. Giga has 9 TKOs, 1 sub, 5 decision wins, but 2 are by split decision. Matched up against David Onama, a powerful striker who we know got dropped by Roberto Romero. Typically, David Onama is in wars, so you know that this fight will be lit. David Onama has insane power. That's why he can be a bit timid at times. Low volume, good 1-2, busy in the clinch, good knees, good elbows, not good takedowns. Not so good takedowns, but he managed to take down Roberto Romero. Onama boxed up Gabriel Benitez very, very impressively with a 6-punch combo. Full display on boxing. We all know that when David Onama beat, I believe it was, who was it? Gabriel Santos. He did that cringy-ass celebration. But we all know that David Onama's here to fight. Onama as a slight favorite can be a capitalizing moment. I think there's value on either side. Onama by KO on points if you're on the Onama side. It's a very good possibility. But we all know that blast body kick, very heavy kick style for Giga is going to give some issues until maybe he can take over and slow down this fight. Give me the over 2.5, and I'm going to take Giga Chikadze by KO on points. I'm excited to see what you guys are on. I'm excited to see who's on Giga Chikadze, who's on David Onama. In this fight right here, I'm going to go Giga Chikadze. I'm going to go Giga Chikadze by KO on points. Giga to start working with the kicks, leg kicks, start working David's cardio is questionable. And I think cardio is iffy for both of these guys, but give me Giga Chikadze, implement the kicks, blast that body kick, work that Giga kick, and remind everybody why Giga Chikadze is one of the best. Let's go Giga Chikadze for the dub. We all know David Onama could definitely win that fight. Anthony Smith versus Mingyang Zhang. Woo. Anthony Smith is back. He is back. This is one of those fights where I would have never expected this fight to happen. I don't know why. I don't know why Anthony Smith accepted this fight. Do I have to break this down? Minus 590 for Anthony Smith, Mingyang Zhang plus 370. So with this fight right here, guys, I'm surprised that Jaqueline Amorim is a bigger favorite than Zhang. There's value on Zhang. There's still value on Zhang. I can't wait to see what Zhang by KO it's going to be. It's going to be minus 120. They are trying to sacrifice Smith. Are they trying to? Anthony Smith is a very durable fighter with an insane amount of fights. A good 1-2, good kicks. Smith notable performances are over Vitor Pacino, Jimmy Crute, and his 2 wins over Ryan Spann. Sometimes Anthony Smith can tend to get into his own head during fights. And sometimes he just lets people work on him. I'd say Glover Teixeira fight was one of the worst beatings I've ever seen for Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith is still a beast. Of course, anything is possible. But he has been finished by KO, TKO 11 times in his career. He is 13-11 in the UFC. Anthony is on a 2-fight skid, losing to both Roman Dolidze and Dominic Reyes. Smith landed 21 strikes against Dominic Reyes, and Reyes blew him out of the water and landed 121 strikes. That was a stat that I had to bring out. I heard that stat, and I was like, holy hell. Matched up against Zhang Ming Yang. Zhang is a brutal knockout artist with some surprisingly 6 submission wins in the first round. This guy is a finisher. He has a 100% finish rate. He does have 6 losses on his record. He lost by guillotine choke. He's been submitted twice, and he has been KO'd 3 times, and he lost by decision once. Zhang by 12 TKOs in the first round. He has 12 TKOs in the first round. An unbelievable, undeniable stat. He has a 100% finish rate, and he's always looking to find the finish. He's sloppy. Sometimes he is very sloppy. He just got a standing TKO win over Ozzy Diaz. Nice elbow that finished the job. Zhang has a 1-inch disadvantage and he's 2 inches shorter, but he's 10 years younger. Zhang Mingyang by KO. Zhang Mingyang by first or second round TKO. I will say Anthony Smith has been finished the most amount of times by KO in the second round. He has 2 TKO losses in the first round, 6 TKO losses in the second round, and 2 TKO losses in the third round. So if we're doing statistic-wise, maybe Mingyang Zhang by second round TKO. Maybe. But I will say, give me Zhang by sprinkle, first or second round TKO. I'm going to be playing Zhang by KO straight, but I want to sprinkle Zhang by first or second round TKO because that's where Anthony Smith gets finished the most. So if Zhang comes in heavy, comes in hard, banger co-main event, Zhang by KO, let's get it, over Anthony Smith. I hope Anthony can retire on a win, though. Main event time, boys and girls. Carlos Prates versus Ian Machado Garry. Garry, minus 146. Prates, plus 114. A banger scrap. This was supposed to be Khalil versus Jamal Hill. A striker's delight. Ian Garry has good low kicks, super fast body kicks, and can get that high kick up very fast. Excellent 1-2, gets tagged a little more often than I'd like him to, but he's very solid, very durable, insanely high volume, lands almost 6 significant strikes per minute, great takedown defense, but he lacks power. We know Ian Garry has been working with Charlie Olives. He has gotten so much better in the grappling department. Since then, I think Garry grapples here. So, with this fight right here, we know Ian Garry has gotten tagged up by Jordan Williams, got dropped by Kenan Song. Garry strikes from range, and that favors Prates. Maybe inside boxing can give a guy like Prates problems. What I'm thinking is a guy like Jeff Neal, a guy like JDM, would probably give a guy like Prates a little bit more issues. You know, inside the pocket, some dirty boxing. A guy that's managing distance, managing range. You know, Prates has a 3.5 reach advantage. That can help Prates. That can favor Prates. He likes to be in that range. If you're being the technical fighter, being on the outside, that's Carlos Prates' world. So now, I think a guy like JDM, maybe Jeff Neal, would give Prates some issues. Garry implemented grappling against Neal a little bit, MVP, and Shavkat. Shavkat versus Garry was close. Garry, I know a lot of people are going to say that he almost had that choke, but we know that, he wasn't going to finish that choke. But Shavkat was having a lot of success in the striking department. We know Shavkat is a guy who loops his strikes, throws a lot of spinning kicks, flashy strikes. He's not a 1-2 guy with basic boxing like Carlos Prates. So if Shavkat can land on Garry, Prates can easily land in the boxing department easily and work. I will say, Carlos Prates' timing is insanely good. The way he finished the leech was absolutely cinema. He put out Neil Magny, and even the way he took out Trevin Giles. This guy is an absolute demon with hands made out of stone. Like an Alex Pereira in the 170 division. Mitch Ramirez was having some success against Prates on Dana White Contender Series. Ramirez took that fight on short notice. Carlos Prates has been making waves ever since he's been in the UFC. And if you're going on the waves, Fighting Nerds, Gene Silva, Prates, it only makes sense for him to win. He has good cardio. I will say, Carlos Prates' striking is a great counter-striking ability, forcing you to make a mistake. Immediately, once you make that mistake, he would capitalize on it. He has good cardio for the things that he does outside the octagon, which is, we all know, Carlos Prates manages distance very well. He has a 3.5 reach advantage here. He has 16 TKOs. He has 16 KOs. 1 in the third. Okay, he has 16 KOs, 1 in the third. The rest are in between the first or second. So he only has 1 KO in the third round. If you're going Carlos Prates, why wouldn't you sprinkle around, round 1, 2, or 3 KO? I like that. I like that a lot for Prates. Prates is excellent. He's an excellent striker who can tag up Garry, make his nose leak. We know Garry tends to leak from the nose very easily. MVP turned Garry into a wrestler, and we know MVP was tagging up Garry. Garry has to wrestle to hold him against the cage, slow down the fight, get Prates tired, and slowly take over this fight later on in this fight. Garry is very hittable, can sometimes be forced to wrestle, and that can make it even easier for Carlos Prates to work, and tag him up, touch his body, and mess up his face. I will say, when you shoot out of desperation, it makes the striker more able to land on you. When you're shooting out of desperation, you're telegraphing your takedowns. It gives the striker more time to work. It makes it easier for the striker. This fight could be a fight where Prates looks absolutely amazing and just obliterates Garry, or even wins a dominant decision after dropping Garry. I will say Prates looked a little off against Garry, a little off against Neil, in my opinion. Against Neil Magny, he looked a little off. I don't know if it was his footwork or Magny's style was just being weird. But he still won that fight with 10 seconds left to round 1 by beautiful buzzer beater KO. I can see this fight even being 2-2 heading towards the 5th. No matter who you are on, there's value on either side. I might look for the over in this fight. I like the over 1.5 in this fight, maybe over 2.5. I can see this fight being a struggle for Garry just because of Prates' reach advantage. Garry, to take Prates down, slow down this fight, and if he can't take down this fight, work him against the cage, hold him against the cage, slow down this fight, wait until the later rounds, and then take over. Even if Garry can't take him down, I think Garry can hold him against the fence, even go toe-to-toe with a knockout specialist. But we know that this guy was getting tagged up against Jordan Williams. He got dropped by Kenan Song. So I'm going off of a little bit of a Hail Mary with this fight. I'm going to be taking Ian Garry to win this fight. But I can definitely see this fight being a massive struggle for Ian Garry just for the reach advantage itself. I will say, the longer this fight goes, the more it favors Garry. Give me Garry to win this fight by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. I'm banking that he doesn't get KO'd. I'm banking that even if he gets dropped, he can show his recovery, come right back, just like in that Kenan Song fight, go toe-to-toe with a beast. But this guy with a 74-inch reach is going to give problems with Carlos Prates. You're going to have to get in there, get dirty, land some good uppercuts. That 1-2 managing distance might get you outstruck, and it might favor Carlos Prates, so you might want to get in the clinch, exchanges, land some elbows, land some uppercuts, make this a little bit of a dirty fight. Give me Ian Machado Garry for the win. I'm going to go by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. Let me know what you guys got. 6 best bets and lock of the week is coming out Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. My work here is done. I hope you guys have a great Easter. I hope you guys had a great Easter, and I hope you guys have a great week. This is going to be an absolute amazing week. And I hope you guys all enjoy this Saturday, and I hope you all cash out. The best is blessed, baby. God bless. I will see you guys in the next one. My next live stream is on Tuesday. Hit the bell. Stay notified. We've been growing like crazy. The live streams have been getting so much better. So thank you guys for all the support. And stay tuned with the community tab because you guys know I update you guys with all my bets. 6 best bets in lock of the week. Wednesday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a great day. Take care. The best is blessed. See you at the top, baby. Peace. Hey.